Have you ever felt something shift inside you when you entered a sacred place, even though nothing physically changed? Or sensed someone's presence without a single sound or sight? These are not tricks of the imagination. They are whispers from a deeper reality, a hidden architecture of your being, older than memory and more real than flesh, is always listening, always responding. It is what ancient sages called the subtle body. Modern science has mapped your organs, your neurons, even your DNA, but it has yet to grasp the luminous thread that connects your thoughts to your emotions, your dreams to your health, your soul to the stars. And that thread is not made of matter, but of energy, vibration, and consciousness. It is the blueprint behind your physical form, a sacred system whispered about in Vedic scrolls, hinted at in Taoist alchemy, and buried in the mystery schools of Egypt. In this video, we will unveil the hidden truth about the subtle body system, a multi-layered energy field that doesn't just surround you, it is you. You'll learn how the ancients mapped the unseen body with as much precision as modern surgeons map the physical. We'll explore why this knowledge was hidden, how it was guarded in symbols and rituals, and most importantly, how understanding it can change your life. Are you ready to see yourself beyond the flesh? Long before the rise of modern medicine or psychology, ancient civilizations understood something profound. Our bodies are not merely physical machines. They are vessels, temples, and mirrors of the soul. And at the core of this understanding lies the concept of the subtle body system. In the Vedic traditions of ancient India, some of the oldest spiritual texts known to humanity, the human being was seen as composed of multiple layers, or koshas, each one finer and more ethereal than the last. The physical body was just the outermost shell. Deeper within existed the pranamaya kosha, the energy body, then the mental body, the wisdom body, and finally the bliss body, or anandamaya kosha, the closest veil to the divine self. Meanwhile, in ancient Egypt, priests initiated into the mystery schools were taught of the Ka, Ba, and Ak, energetic aspects of the self that continued long after the body died. These weren't metaphors. They were precise descriptions of a spiritual anatomy, understood through ritual, breathwork, and altered states of consciousness. In Taoist alchemy, practitioners spoke of the Shen, Qi, and Jing, spirit, energy, and essence, three vital forces that flowed through meridians, cultivating balance and immortality through internal alchemy. And in the Hermetic traditions of Greece and later Europe, echoes of these teachings appeared again, as above, so below, as within, so without. Yet somewhere along the way, this sacred knowledge was fragmented, suppressed by dogma, buried under centuries of materialism, and rebranded as superstition. The subtle body system, once central to healing, enlightenment, and spiritual mastery, was reduced to myth. Dismissed because it could not be measured, feared because it hinted at a power within each human being that transcended control. But the echoes have never faded completely, hidden in the patterns of mandalas, encoded in the geometry of sacred temples, and remembered by mystics, healers, and yogis. This ancient wisdom is still here, waiting, not to be believed blindly, but to be experienced. What happens when you see yourself not as a body with a soul, but a soul with many bodies? To understand the subtle body system is to step beyond the boundaries of flesh and bone, to realize that you are a multi-dimensional being, layered in light, vibration, and consciousness. Imagine yourself as a series of concentric spheres, each more refined than the one before. The physical body, the one we can see and touch, is only the outermost shell. Beneath it pulses the etheric body, the first layer of energy. It is here that life force, prana, chi, or ruach, flows like an invisible river. This energy animates you, fuels your breath, moves your blood, and gives vitality to your form. Then comes the emotional body, the fluid realm where feelings live, not merely thoughts, but the raw magnetic charges that color our perception of the world. This is where unhealed trauma resides, echoing as chronic pain, anxiety, or fatigue in the physical form. Your moods, your desires, your instincts, these are not just in your mind, but embedded in this subtle sheath. Deeper still lies the mental body, the architecture of belief and thought. It is not just a storage center for ideas, but a vibrational field that shapes reality. What you think, you become, not just metaphorically, but energetically. Ancient mystics taught that the mental body could be refined through meditation and silence, turning chaotic thought into focused intention. But beyond all that, there is something even more mysterious: the spiritual body, or causal body. This is where your deepest essence resides, the part of you that existed before your birth and continues after death. It holds your soul's blueprint, the reasons you came into this life, the karmic threads you must unravel, and the potential that lies dormant, waiting to be awakened. These bodies are not separate. They overlap, influence, and entangle. A wound in the emotional body can ripple into the physical. A belief held in the mental body can choke the life force of the etheric, and a spark of truth from the spiritual body can heal them all in a single moment of awakening. Yet here's the secret. These subtle bodies are not passive. They are interactive, intelligent, and responsive. And once you learn to feel them, to listen to their whispers, you can begin to consciously align them. You can learn to heal not just the body, but the soul. But what if some layers of this system are not yours? What if some of the energetic patterns you carry were never meant for you to hold? Not all energies within your subtle body system are your own. This is one of the most overlooked and concealed truths in spiritual history. From the moment of birth, perhaps even before, you begin to absorb energy. Emotions from your parents, beliefs from your culture, fears from your ancestors. They seep into your field like smoke into fabric. This is called energetic imprinting, and it leaves behind traces, resonances that can shape your behavior, your health, and even your destiny without your conscious awareness. Ancient seers warned of this. In Vedic philosophy, they referred to these influences as samskaras, karmic impressions carried from past lives or inherited through lineage. In shamanic traditions, they spoke of soul intrusions, foreign energies lodged in the spiritual body due to trauma, shock, or manipulation. Modern psychology is only beginning to grasp what mystics always knew, that trauma isn't just mental, it's energetic. It hides in the auric field, stored in the emotional body, encoded in the etheric memory, and unless it is addressed on these deeper levels, healing will always remain partial. This is why many people feel stuck despite therapy or physical wellness, because their subtle bodies are still burdened with outdated or alien patterns. Let us also explore a more advanced concept, the chakra gateways. These are not just spinning wheels of color, they are portals, interfaces between your subtle bodies. When one chakra is blocked, it's not merely a local issue. It is a distortion across the entire energy matrix. A blocked throat chakra, for example, might not only cause communication issues, but also mental fog, emotional repression, and even physical illness in the thyroid or lungs. Now here's a truth that has been hidden in plain sight. The subtle body system was once humanity's original technology. Before machines, before science, we were taught to master our inner energies. Mystery schools of Egypt, India, and the Americas all possessed intricate maps of this system. But this knowledge was guarded, encrypted in symbols and myths because of the immense power it offered, power that could be misused or misunderstood. And perhaps it was. Many ancient teachings were deliberately erased, distorted, or labeled as heresy. The subtle body became superstition, energy became placebo, and modern man was taught to worship the physical alone. But the truth cannot stay hidden forever. The more you awaken, the more the system activates. Intuition sharpens, dreams become messages, synchronicities align, and you realize that the boundaries of the body were never boundaries at all, but bridges to a greater reality. Still, knowledge without application is like a map never used. What can you do with this ancient understanding? How can you activate and align your subtle bodies? That's what we'll explore next. Now that we've unveiled the hidden mechanics of the subtle body system, the question becomes, how do you work with it? How do you clear these ancient imprints, unlock these energetic gates, and reclaim your forgotten power? The journey begins with awareness. Just as you would observe your breath in meditation, begin to notice the sensations, tensions, or emotions that don't seem to originate from your thoughts. These are often signals from your subtle bodies, whispers from the etheric, emotional, or mental layers trying to get your attention. Start each day with a simple energy scan. Sit in stillness, close your eyes, and mentally move your awareness from head to toe. Don't just observe the physical. Sense the space around your body. Notice if it feels heavy, numb, or disrupted in any area. This simple act reconnects you to your aura, your field, your true boundary. Now here's a powerful ancient technique known in various traditions as pranic brushing or auric sweeping. Take your hands and slowly sweep them through your energy field, a few inches above your skin, moving from top to bottom. As you do, visualize stagnant energies being pulled away, transmuted into light. This clears subtle debris and allows fresh energy to flow through. You can also harness sound and vibration. Ancient chants, tuning forks, or even your own voice can help retune imbalanced chakras. For example, humming deeply into the chest while focusing on the heart can help activate the emotional body's healing center. And don't overlook the power of breath, what yogic masters call pranayama. One method, nadi shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing, is especially effective for balancing the subtle channels, the Ida and Pingala, which snake up the spine and influence your entire system. Just a few minutes daily can realign emotional and mental energies. But perhaps the most transformative practice is intentional detachment, learning to observe your emotions, thoughts, and sensations without clinging to them. When you stop identifying with every impulse, you begin to dissolve the false layers, revealing the luminous core beneath. This is where the real shift happens. When your subtle bodies are aligned, you start living from a different frequency. You become more intuitive, more resilient, more present. You speak less, but your presence says more. You attract synchronicities, clarity, and even healing, not by force, but by vibration. However, this work is not without challenge. As you clear stagnant energy, repressed memories or emotions may surface. This is not regression, it is release. Face them gently. Let them pass like clouds. You are not breaking down, you are breaking open. Remember, energy work is not about escape, it's about embodiment. You are not trying to leave this world. You are learning to live in it as a conscious, awakened being. The subtle body is not a fantasy. It is your unseen architecture, your inner temple, your original self. And now that you've begun to awaken it, the real journey begins. What if everything you've been taught about your limits was only half the story? The subtle body system, this intricate, luminous matrix beyond flesh and bone, is not just a mystical idea tucked away in forgotten scrolls or cloaked in Eastern metaphors. It is you. It is the unseen thread that connects your thoughts, your emotions, your purpose, and the vast intelligence of the universe itself. Throughout this journey, we've peeled back the veil to glimpse what the ancient seers knew, that you are not a passive observer in this life. You are an energetic architect. Every thought, every feeling, every breath you take leaves a ripple in your subtle field. This means healing, transformation, and elevation are never far. They're waiting within, just beyond the noise. By learning to feel your energy, clear your blockages, and awaken your inner senses, you begin walking a different path. Not one of blind reaction, but one of empowered response. You become aware not only of what moves through you, but of what moves you. You awaken to the truth that your body is the temple, but your subtle body is the sacred fire that burns within it. Now the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you let it pass like another intriguing idea? Or will you dare to turn inward and reclaim the forgotten light that's always been yours? If this exploration stirred something deep within you, don't let it fade. Let this be your first step into a deeper understanding of who you truly are. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever felt your energy body? What practices have opened you up to this unseen world? And if you're ready to journey further into the hidden layers of reality, subscribe and join us as we unveil more mysteries, truths, and ancient wisdom that has long been waiting to return. Until next time, stay curious, stay aware, and stay aligned with the unseen.